Welcome back. Now, one of the biggest and maybe the most important thing I learned at Lakeland College's interior design department is the difference between a decorator and a designer. And please do not call these guys decorators.
Interior designers are not decorators. Everybody always gives our program the reputation that we are just designers who just move couches around and change the way a space looks. And it's not just about the aesthetics of a space, it's about changing the entire space. So you're not just accessorizing, you're physically moving and changing walls. You need to understand all aspects involved in working drawings and building an actual room. There's people in trades who I've talked to who are actually surprised that I know how to make the construction forms that we're learning what they're learning, and we're drafting what they're drafting, and I think they're pretty surprised that we actually learn those things too.
We do draw on carpentry department here at the college in the trades, and we have one instructor that comes in from carpentry that does some materials and building systems courses. In any space, there are electrical and structural and mechanical things to take into account, and so it goes beyond picking furniture for a living room.
We have to do plans for all of it, so to change lights you have to do an electrical plan or a mechanical plan that shows where everything goes, and it's just not a simple process.
It's a science, I think, more than anything, of functionality and aesthetics, and trying to marry both science and beauty together.
Decorating is just more, the artistic side. You just pick the finishes or the art or the furniture. Designing is making a space come to life. You deal with more of the construction parts. You deal with drafting. You deal with the decorating aspects as well. You can do something completely different in every project you do. It's just new, fresh ideas every time, applying them to a completely different scenario. Just having the free range to do something different every time.
I think that what we learn here is extremely valuable, and that if anybody went into the world without design experience, I'm sure you could just have your own creative edge and you could make up something that was good. But I think the quality of our education here would give somebody who doesn't have that experience so much more out of their designs, because there's so many things that I never thought about that another person designing a space wouldn't think about, that having us to help them would give them a way more functional and overall encompassing everything that you need in a design. So I think, yeah, it's something I thought, I was like, oh, I don't need to go to school, I can just design. And now that I'm come here, I realize there's so much more to what you learn and what needs to go into a design.
I think it's really important to use a professional designer because you're going to get the results that you want, and you're actually going to meet needs that maybe you didn't even really realize that your space needed, but having a different set of eyes is going to give you a different perspective on the space and really maximize your living situation and the use out of the space to the most functional way that you maybe would have never even thought was possible. Without
design and without these people who have given up their lives, I guess, in order to work on the functionality of how humans interact with their environments and their objects, which is what design is. It's a study of that. Without them, I don't think we would get to where we are with like contemporary design and having all these conveniences and how everything is so well spaced and planned out, to the point where you can turn around and there's your sink, turn over and there's your your stovetop, because all of that has thought in it, and it's not something that should be taken lightly, because it is a very serious thing. And like, for instance, my teacher said that a kitchen is one of the most complicated things to design. Only because, number one, you can't move cabinets once they're installed. Number two, everyone comes to the kitchen. And number three, if drawers and cupboards start opening into each other, you're just gonna make the client very, very angry. So design is a very real thing. It's very fickle, it moves, and it's, it's not just something people should ignore. So
And there's no ignoring these guys. Coming up after this break, we're going to see some internationally award-winning designs. Please stay with us.